Okay, my head's about to explode. A nigga can't catch a break. I didn't think sorting or keeping track of hundreds of islands would be this annoying, but here we are. And if you're the tiniest bit interested in the world of One Piece, I'd stick around, because I don't think there's a single place on the internet where you can find this information. It's not like the wiki has half of the islands in this video, and I don't think anyone's dumb enough to go through what I did for no reason at all. But just so we're on the same page, any island seen or mentioned is fair game, as long as it's from a canon source. But when it comes to maps, only those seen in the manga will be included. That's it. Simple, right? But let me ask you a question, my non-existent viewer. Do you consider Skypiea to be one island? Or two? Maybe three? Heck, even four is possible. This right here is where subjectivity comes into play. What even is an island? I'll try my best to be as transparent as possible when it comes to fringe cases like this, so that if anyone ever watches this video, which I doubt, you could come to your own conclusion whether you want to add or subtract islands from the total count. Now let's get to the fun stuff, the stats. Excluding the Grandline, every sea on the planet has been covered so far, with them containing 241 islands, of which 87 were seen in the manga, 37 were mentioned, and 115 appeared in maps. The total time spent on these islands is a whopping 226 chapters, which is really surprising considering pretty much the whole series has taken place in the Grandline, making the next stat a little bit more palatable, with only 39 of these islands having any straw hats on them. But with every single straw hat appearing, that's really shocking to say the least. Even my nigga Jinbei took his fat ass out of the Grandline to join this video. Back to the stats. 39 of the islands were named, 29 had named locations, and 173 had no names associated, making the vast majority of islands in One Piece unnamed. Delving deeper into the stats, let's go sea by sea, starting with the East Blue. With only 4 islands seen after its saga, it's safe to say it fell off. But it's still the most relevant sea in the story after the Grandline, with 85 chapters being spent on islands here, and with a total of 42 islands, which could increase depending on what you want to do about the archipelagos, as unless I've had more confirmed information such as with the Konomi Islands and Polestar Islands, I've counted them as one. Another thing, while I've included Six's Island, if you don't consider Ace's novels to be canon, you could remove it from the count. Moving on to the South Blue, the least relevant sea by chapter count, with only 4 to its name, 38 islands the least of the 4 blues, and with 20 of them coming from maps, that means just 18 seen or mentioned, less than half of first place. Okay, let's stop dogging on the South. It's still home to important aspects of the story such as Kuma's backstory and the birth of Ace, yet only one straw hat has stayed on an island in this sea. But it's still more than the North Blue, the only sea to not have a single straw hat on one of its islands. With Sanji growing up on snails, he doesn't count. And with only 2 islands seen not related to Dofi or Law, it's understandable why its islands have only appeared for 6 chapters, the length of their flashback. West Blue, number 1 in terms of islands with a total of 73, and the most Straw Hat Islands with 16, even more than the East Blue, all thanks to my glorious queen Nico Robin, with her appearing on 14 of these islands alone, and on Thriller Bark with the crew. The Calm Belt, with only 2 islands seen, that puts it calmly in last place. It really is a calm sea. The White Sea, okay, counting Skypiea as 1 island, I'll let you decide if you want to increase the count or not. Next up, we got the second island on this list, which is debatably not canon, Mervell, which appeared in the last page of Chapter 0 and was the main setting of Strong World. Oh, and for the record, I've also counted Punk Records as its own island, only after its separation, of course. I'm not that crazy. Holy, this was by far the most annoying script to write yet. My brain is fried, the weekly schedule is cooking me, and I definitely wasn't expecting to spend the first 2 months of my new videos on this series. I should really expand and talk about something other than just islands for a change, but not gonna lie, the world of One Piece has swallowed me whole. While I don't think I can dive into the rest of the islands just yet, the thought alone sends shivers down my spine. My thoughts surrounding the maps of One Piece almost took over this video at one point, so that might be next up. But I also really want to make videos on a million different things. I guess that's just the power of One Piece. But I'll try my best to make videos you won't be able to find anywhere else. And as an avid watcher of One Piece content on YouTube, I think this series can testify to that. But let's stop the yapping. A nigga got more videos to work on, 1 a week, baby, and it won't stop anytime soon, I hope.